What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best, and today I'm here to finally talk to you about Ultra Instinct Goku, because I've actually kind of been slacking and sleeping on these trailers and the gameplay that's come out, but a lot of you guys have still been asking me for my opinion, my thoughts, and if I've seen it, and of course I have seen it, but I haven't really talked much about UI Goku on the channel, so that's what we're going to do here today. Now, about a week ago, Bandai Namco actually put out a brand new gameplay trailer for the character and also officially unveiled the release date for the character, which is May 22nd. However, if you're a season pass holder, you get access to him 2 days early on May 20th. But get this. Every time there's a new DLC character, there's an update for the game. Now, usually we get that update for the game like a day or two before. However, for some reason, the Chinese version of the game already got the update. And so Ultra Instinct Goku's files were added to the game. And if you know the tech about Captain Ginyu in arcade mode, there were some Chinese players that were going into the arcade mode with Captain Ginyu, running into UI Goku, and then doing the body swap with him in order to get access to the character. Now, by the time this video is out, I think this has been done by multiple players, but I think the first person I saw on Twitter to do this was a Twitter user by the name of TZWQBest. They gave us our first look at Ultra Instinct Goku. The clips were all over Twitter. I saw a lot of them, and I've also found some other gameplay that I haven't seen a lot of other people cover because it came out after those clips did. But yeah, there's a lot when it comes to this character. It looks like he has a ton of different inputs, a ton of commands, a longer move list than any other character in the game, and just a lot of different tools to work with. I don't even really know where I want to start with this character, but I think one thing I should mention is the dramatic finish. We were getting teasers and screenshots and the like of Omen Ultra Instinct, or Ultra Instinct Sign Goku versus Kefla. And I remember being in a thread with Doya on Twitter and a couple of other Twitter users, and I was like, in before, this is just a dramatic finish for Blue Goku and not Ultra Instinct Sign, because there was some speculation about whether or not you'd be able to play as UI Sign Goku as an alternate costume, or if this was a dramatic and his shirt would grow back for UI Goku, or what the case. Like, we didn't really know. But if you look at this screen right here, you see that this frame shows that it's Blue Goku, with, by the way, the Goku Day colors, what it seems like to me, doing the 5H on Kefla and activating the dramatic finish. Now, I will say this dramatic finish is pretty fired. If you haven't seen it already, I'll go ahead and let it play here for you now. Now, I'm not even gonna cap. While I'm not the biggest Goku fan and I wasn't the most excited for Ultra Instinct Goku, that might be my new favorite dramatic finish in the game. If it's not number one, it's definitely number two. And number one, I mean, that battle would only be between Trunks and Zamasu, and now this for me personally, but that's just me. But getting into the actual gameplay of Ultra Instinct Goku, despite him looking so unique in so many different ways, it's probably worth noting that he does actually have the ability to do the universal combo in the game where, you do 2M, 5M, jump, medium, light. However, it looks like in this gameplay, when he jumps up and does the light, he punches with both hands, which might mean that his jump light is double hitting, which to me is really good. To me, that says double overhead. To me, that says easy hit confirms in air-to-air during neutral, and it just in general seems like a pretty good normal. His jump medium seems like it's got some pretty great range on it as well. It seems comparable to Super Saiyan Goku, like not the same animation, but just in terms of like the distance it has, like the reach it has on it, it's looking pretty good. I'm probably going to enjoy playing this character, jumping around in neutral, just sticking out a button, seeing what sticks. Oh, and before I forget to mention it, he does in fact have a low 2L. I know that was always the number one most asked question that everybody had on their minds immediately every time a new character was coming out. Does he have a low 2L? I think we're at a point in the game where people are finally starting to slowly but surely realize you don't need a low 2L to be good, because now everybody's calling Trunks top tier or like top 5 in the game, and he doesn't have a low 2L. So yeah, he has it, but he may or may not necessarily need it. Another thing that immediately catches my eye about this character is that he has a way to get meterless sliding knockdown anywhere on screen. Not only can he get this knockdown anywhere on screen, it looks like he recovers relatively quickly and he lands right in front of the opponent, so he's probably going to have some pretty decent Oki off that move. Or at least that's what it looks like, and that's what I hope. He's also got this really flashy looking Kamehameha where he kind of does a flip forward and then he shoots it downward, similar to Cell, but like lower to the ground. And I don't really know what it is exactly, but something in my gut tells me that this move is probably going to be better than Cell's Kamehameha. I don't know why, I just have that feeling, but I could be very wrong. Judging from what I can tell, it also looks like that very same Kamehameha is also probably going to be his A assist, but we also see his B assist and his C assist, and his B assist is pretty familiar looking to a lot of Marvel players as it kind of resembles Jam Session. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've got a ton of Marvel experience, but I've heard the legendary stories of Jam Session, and it seems to have been highly regarded back in the Marvel 3 days, so probably safe to assume that it's going to be a pretty decent assist. And then his C assist looks pretty generic, as most of the C assists do. Nothing really special about it as far as I can tell, but maybe it'll have some certain special quality that I can't tell in terms of block stun or hit stun until I get my hand on the character. But other than his C assist, everything else about this character looks extremely flashy. His 5H, his 6H, he's got like this weird key blast thing where he's doing like waving his arms and there's like 2 blasts. This doesn't really seem like the type of move you're probably going to be tossing out neutral, but I do expect we'll probably see it pop up in his combos or something. I don't know if that's like his 2Fs or what, because I think his key blast, like his standing special, his 5S, is like this Gale Palm thrust thing, kind of reminiscent of like Adult Gohan, or better yet Jiren, which, speaking of Jiren, that was one of the things that had me a little bit apprehensive about this character, is because a lot of his moves, a lot of his animations look similar to Jiren. They're obviously distinctive enough to they separate himself, and his moves don't seem to work the same at all in most cases. But if you look on the screen right now, you can see why somebody might think, wow, this is literally just better Jiren. And not only just Jiren, but all this like flair and style also kind of reminds me of Gogeta, which, being a mix of Jiren and Gogeta, not exactly something that gets me excited in this game, because Gogeta, most people are considering pretty low tier and not that fun to play because of his slow normals and just overall bad buttons, and Jiren to me is just the wackest character in all of Dragon Ball and in this game. I just hate Jiren. I think he's incredibly lame, but that's just me, this is my opinion. But yeah, Gogeta was a character who, you know, when we were seeing gameplay and he was being revealed and showcased, I was like, wow, this character looks sick, he looks like so much fun. And you know, when he came out, he was fun because he was a brand new shiny toy, and I enjoyed him a bit at first, but the more I played him, I realized he was just way too clunky and way too slow for my playstyle, and just wasn't a character that I ended up playing or continuing to play just because it wasn't fun. And again, I'm not the biggest Goku fan, but I don't want him to go out like that. I want this character to be good. I want him to be fun to play. I want him to be strong. And of course, I'm going to be playing him here on the channel, probably for multiple videos in a row. So I want him to be fun because I'm going to enjoy him too. Only time will tell, but either way, I'm really looking forward to making more content on him when he does officially release. Anyway, another interesting thing to look at when it comes to this character is actually his 2H. It seems like it's a double hitting 2H, kind of like Yamcha, but I don't know if it'll work exactly like Yamcha. It seems like it's got pretty decent range though, horizontally and vertically. I mean, he kicks that leg up pretty high and seems like he extends it all the way out, so not gonna be like Android 17 or Videl, thank God. But the most interesting thing about his 2H isn't the fact that it has 2 hits like Yamcha, it's actually the fact that he seems to do like this flip backwards away from the opponent after it gets blocked. So it seems like it has some sort of built-in evasion to it, which means that characters like potentially Android 17 or Videl can't punish him with a 2H for getting his 2H blocked. Now that's not a huge deal, right? But it is very common online among players to 2H after blocking someone else's 2H as a punish. And there's other ways to do that. You could super dash, you could 5M, you could 5L, you could key blast. You could stick out almost any button most of the time because 2H is very punchable on block, but it's just very common to 2H after you block a 2H, especially because so many players online like to super dash after getting their 2H block. And on top of that, depending on what the recovery is like, he might be able to air dash out of that or do some sort of mix up with it on a block string. Now I doubt that'll be possible, but it is a possibility, at least in theory. As I said before, this character has a ton of tools, so there's a lot more we could sit here and try to analyze and break down, but I don't really want to go too in depth with it before actually getting the chance to play the character for myself. I'm always opposed to the idea of judging a character too prematurely. I feel like every time a new DLC character comes along, people write him off without giving it a proper chance and enough time for the character to be fleshed out by the community. But even that aside, there's just so much to this character that I couldn't possibly talk about it all, even if I wanted to, without making this video 30, 45 minutes or even an hour long. Without trying to judge the practicality of any of his special moves or any of his normals or anything, I will say that some of his specials do look really interesting and a lot of fun to play with. Case in point, this weird flippy, dippy, hippy, drippy thing he's got. I don't know if he's trying to be Trunks or what. It mixing fellas up, and I don't know if this is a command grab that he has at the end of it, but it looks pretty cool. He's also got like this nearly full screen dash that seems incredibly quick when you use the EX version of it. That also gives you full combo solo. Some of his counter moves and like parries seem to give him solo combo. So yeah, he seems like he's going to be a pretty self-sufficient character and really strong with a lot of bar. Also, if you haven't seen them already, here's some of his super moves, because one of the players who did access him did show us the level 1 and level 3. The level 1 seems to do a side switch. The level 3 and level 1 both seem able to be done in the air. And I don't know, overall it seems that like at least on paper he has everything going for him that you kind of would want in a character. But alas, that is just on paper and I can't judge him too much without getting to play him for myself, and I can't stress that enough. I don't want to take up too much of your time though, I just kind of want to get my thoughts and opinions out there and just kind of judge the gameplay a little bit for myself out loud on the channel because I hadn't yet and I'm getting asked about him and I'm a little late to the party, but I guess it's better late than never to finally give my thoughts and opinions on everything that we've seen so far from Ultra Instinct Goku. Again, he officially releases on May 22nd, although as a season pass holder I will have access to him on May 20th, although if he becomes a little bit earlier, like the 19th on the Switch or PC version of the game, I will be playing him, so definitely expect a lot of Ultra Instinct Goku gameplay and content on the channel next week. Well, that'll do it, folks. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen until you swing the bat. Later.